Let's talk about those parts of us we are limiting. Let's talk about those things that we do place right in front of us because we feel like this is not how we do life, right? I don't have enough money to create this or that. I don't have the right education to do this or this. I don't have dot, dot, dot. I don't fulfill how I should look like or behave. And that is preventing me to really step into my fullness, my wholeness, right? What if I tell you that there are many other layers why we're stopping ourselves? But most important is you're the one who keeps the gate closed. You're the one who says no. You're the one who says, hey, this is not acceptable. This is not allowing myself to, or I'm not allowing myself to step into my fullness, into my wholeness. But you see, you are already whole. You are already full. You are already enough. You see, you don't believe it, but that's something else. We limit ourselves because there are many, many reasons from our upbringing, maybe, and then how we choose to deal with that, right? It could be that we are very people pleasers and that we are trying to always please other people. And all of that is only because the way how we grew up, this was the life we were shown. This doesn't mean we cannot step over that. It just means it's some work. And the work means doing daily reflection. Start to look into the mirror. Am I actually really showing up in my fullness? Right? And see, it's so crucial that we understand we don't have to. This is not you need to always be in your best self and whatsoever. This is not about being the best, being performing or doing a lot of performance, being I don't know, the best of the top of the whatsoever. That's not it. But are you your truest version when it comes down to who you are? What will fulfill you is not outside in this world, but inside, because internally will make you want to shift the external too. If we are looking in the outside world and we believe, okay, everything there is wrong, we got to start to look inside, okay, where am I not living my life that I truly want? Where am I limiting myself to those kind of boxes I cannot break out? I don't want to break out, because what if I do break out? I don't know what is coming. I don't know what is next. At least here, I know what to expect. At least when I'm in this box, I know this is how my life is going to look like. I'd rather complain. I'd rather judge, right? I'd rather judge my past. I'd rather judge myself and shame myself than to actually really make a change, because that's easier. That is where my comfort is in. But change is coming with a lot of, not suffering, but a lot of letting go and a lot of, okay, I need to shed my skin fully. I need to become that version that I always have been, but I couldn't really see it and I didn't want to see it. And I tried not to see anything of that. I tried to limit myself, because that means I don't need to step into my fullness. I don't need to step into who I truly am. I can be safe in those little areas because that's what I know, that's where I feel comfortable in. But if you step outside of this box, if you start to see, okay, every single day, which pattern, which situations, which emotions do actually hinder me to move past that? And what would it mean if I change completely, right? If I say, okay, I don't have this money to create this or this, is there another way? What would happen if I create from another place? What would happen if I open my heart so much that I just create from wherever I stand? And wherever I stand, it's okay that I stand here. What about if we cultivate ourselves in a way of, okay, I stand here right now in this life, and I have everything that is right in front of me and beyond. And just because me believing I need this or this might not even be true, because I need to birth something out of what I have. And when we start to look into those fields, we start to see, okay, actually, I am standing right where I need to be. There is no shame, no guilt in that involved. There is nothing like, hey, I'm doing wrong. There is things about, okay, let's make a little change here and there. Let's adjust so I can actually feel good for myself. I can actually find peace in this uncomfortable place I'm in, right? Because I don't know what is coming. I have no idea what is going to be next. But can we let go just a little bit more? Can we expand just a little bit more? Can we see just a little bit more? Don't go off the road, but just a bit. See what's open, see what is there for you, see what you can take from that. You see, every single time we step outside of this boundary, there is something for us awaiting. There is a learning, there is a growth happening, there is some kind of peace that comes with it. The peace that I was trying to do my best, but I'm aware of it. You see, I'm aware that I'm trying my very best to find this fulfillment. This is not fulfillment about the normal things that we think is success. This is not about, I don't know, any material stuff. This is not about, maybe it is, right? Maybe it is, but it's not what we got told what success looks like. This could be something very different. So the self that we need to cultivate and that we actually really haven't done so much, right? We were cultivating in our past something that was not really about us itself. You see, it's about getting to know this here, getting to know what are our pain points, and making a change individually, not trying to change the other, trying to make a move by ourselves and know that everything we do is actually a ripple effect for everyone else. You know, it's the best thing if we can start to see that it will shift not only for us. We are not just doing it for us, we are doing it as well for others, because we do want to walk together, but separate. We walk separate, but together. We can look at each other, but I'm not dragging someone into my field saying, hey, you need to try this, you need to do that, right? You need to heal here. You need to, you see, it's not how it works. We need to learn how to be open enough to see other people have other opportunities, other ways, other journeys, other challenges. what I face as a challenge is seriously nothing for my neighbor, nothing for my work colleague, nothing for my friend or family. But sometimes we do meet people where our challenges are very, very similar. And then we feel so connected to each other because that one understands me. This is, in my experience, can be quite dangerous because we feel if you understand my pain, you act in my best interest too. You see, but the problem is that only I can act in my best interest because only I know what is best for me. Now we can have really good friends who may understand that and may have the consciousness that is required for that. And that's so beautiful beyond that, right? But it's the understanding that I cannot give away when to turn left and right. I need to feel into myself and start to see every single day, what is it that I choose that is best for me? And I don't mean in an egoic way. I mean in a way where I respect myself so deeply. I take time to rest. I take time to nourish myself. I take time to heal after a difficult conversation. I'm actually trying to find joy. I try to find a laughter. I try to compliment myself, but this comes from deep within. And with that is actually where trust comes in, trust in our own path, trust so that we can expand, right? That we trust that the way we are walking is good for us. It's so interesting how people view their life as it's not possible. We cannot go there or here. And this is out of reach. Maybe it is because it's not your path, but maybe to also understand that this is a bumpy road. This is not about, hey, if it doesn't work really smooth, then something is off. Not really, not really at all. It's tough. You see, walking this path isn't always the sparkly whatsoever, the sparkly unicorn, right? This is about really understanding when we need time to rest, when do we need time to nourish ourselves, and when can we break out of a limit that is right in front of us, because we are not really seeing that we could potentially go way beyond that, right? There's so many reasons why we do limit ourselves, and then we blame it on other people because we feel like it was you who first showed me that this is not acceptable, and now I have a hard time to break out. What about if we are looking from another angle and actually say, okay, what happens if I break out? What does this mean for my life? What does it mean if I break out of this life that I always thought is my ideal? What if I break out of something that I have chosen all my life and now I see it's not anymore what makes me happy? What would that mean if I change everything? What kind of fear comes up? And learn to stand with that fear, learn to be open to listen to that fear, because listening to what am I afraid of? What am I not choosing? Why am I not choosing it? Is your best friend to follow a new route, a route that is aligned of your truer self, your truer version, your higher self, something that has more or a higher consciousness than you have. And there is this small self that just tries to survive, that just tries to be there for you. But what if the smaller self is ready to grow too? What if the smaller self is also ready to say, okay, let's take a leap and let's actually live the life that I truly want to live, and not to always feel so tight, not to always feel so limited, right? Don't do this, don't say that, don't be embarrassing, um, uh, feeling this guilt all the time because we are working on ourselves. It's so difficult for people to understand that working on ourselves is not about I'm being an egoistic person. This is about for the best of all and everything, because if I'm standing in my truth, I'm so open to share my love with you. I'm so open to give more, to live more, to share my joy. But if I'm not doing that, if I'm not standing in my alignment, I'm showing just everybody else that you can also not stand in your alignment, because that's not what we do. That's not how we show up. That's not, all those limits that we place right in front of us, because this is not how we do it. Not this, not that, show up like this. First thing that comes in my mind is learn to be open to release. And sometimes this looks like I'm crying, or it doesn't only look like you are crying because you're releasing. Crying isn't always, hey, I'm in deep sadness. It's about an awakening to a new reality, an awakening to, okay, finally I can let go. Finally, I can drop it. Finally, I'm able to see right through it and to release what has been holding me back for long. Learn to see that there is multiple ways on how we can release. Maybe you're jumping in the up and down, right? Maybe you are going for a walk outside, you do more stillness. But maybe it's about more movement. Maybe it's about sound, right? It's about crying. It's about pressing it out from your throat outside. However you're doing that, you need to know that however that may look like might be quite weird, might be quite tricky in the beginning to really let go, to really release those kind of things. Because you feel like, okay, I cannot really do that, right? The shame comes up, the guilt comes up, because we feel, ooh, that's not comfortable. That's not, never done that. Why would I do that? Right? Feel into yourself. Give yourself the peace you need to do that, the safety you need to do that. Open up your heart. Just imagine how you open up your heart and how you release the burden that's on your shoulder, that you need to do something for other people, but you can barely do it, right? It's so heavy. You can barely live that life that is asked from you, not only from others, but from yourself. How can you step up into your highest potential? All right, my friends, I hope this video has helped you. Let me know in the comments, where do you currently limit yourself? And also let me know, what is it that you want to hear more from me, from this channel? I'm always curious to hear from you guys and to see what I can give back. And yeah, with that said,